You can't identify a Sigma male under normal conditions. His traits stay hidden during easy times. He blends in. He looks ordinary, sometimes even unremarkable. Nothing about him screams power or dominance. Then pressure hits. A crisis emerges. Stability breaks. And everything changes. Suddenly, traits appear that no one noticed before. Capabilities no one knew he had. Calm, precise responses that shock everyone watching. This is what happens when pressure activates what was dormant. The defining traits of a Sigma male rarely show during comfort. In times of peace and routine, he is quiet, reserved, often overlooked. The strengths that define him stay beneath the surface. His psychology remains inactive because the environment doesn't demand it. And this leads to massive misjudgment. People mistake quiet for weakness. They confuse withdrawal with incompetence. They interpret a low profile as low value. They label him beta, loner, antisocial. They are completely wrong. But they won't realize it until pressure reveals the truth. Pressure is the revealer. Crisis. Emergency. High-stakes decisions. Genuine difficulty. These conditions activate what was always there. The quiet man becomes the decisive leader. The withdrawn observer becomes the strategic operator. The overlooked individual becomes the crucial asset. Pressure doesn't change him. It exposes him. This happens because the Sigma mindset is optimized for pressure, not performance. Most personality types are built to shine during stability. They display strength in peaceful conditions. They showcase competence when everything is predictable. Sigma males are different. They conserve energy. They don't perform for applause. They don't display their full capacity when it isn't required. They optimize for crisis. They save their capability for when it actually matters. The result? Invisibility during easy times. Dominance during hard times. Today, we're breaking down the specific traits that only emerge under pressure. What activates when chaos begins? Why do these traits stay hidden during normal conditions? How can you recognize a Sigma male by his crisis response instead of his everyday behavior? And what does this reveal about evolutionary adaptation to unstable environments? If you are a Sigma male, you'll recognize this shift immediately, the internal switch that flips when pressure hits. The clarity. The focus. The calm control that surprises everyone else. If you're not, you'll finally learn how to identify a Sigma male correctly, not by how he behaves in comfort, but by how he responds in chaos. Because normal conditions hide him. Pressure reveals him. Trait 1, strategic clarity in chaos. The first pressure-activated trait is strategic clarity emerging from chaos. When situations become complex and fast-moving, most people feel overwhelmed. Information overload sets in. They struggle to process what matters. Decision paralysis creeps in. Stress narrows their thinking. The Sigma male experiences the opposite. Chaos clarifies. Instead of confusion, he sees patterns. Instead of overload, he sees structure. Instead of paralysis, he sees direction. This happens because his observer nature becomes fully activated under pressure. In normal life, that observation runs quietly in the background. In crisis, it becomes primary processing. The pattern recognition system shifts into high gear. While others are still trying to understand what is happening, he has already assessed the situation. He identifies the critical variables. He filters out distractions. He determines the most effective course of action. The clarity also expands his perception of options. Under stress, most people develop tunnel vision. They see limited choices, binary outcomes, all-or-nothing thinking. He does not. He sees the full landscape. Multiple pathways. Creative solutions. Alternative angles others cannot perceive through their stress-narrowed awareness. This is why people are shocked. I didn't know you could think like that. They couldn't see it before because peace doesn't demand it. The strategic capacity was always there, dormant until pressure required it. The clarity leads to rapid, high-quality decisions. While others debate, second-guess, and seek reassurance, he decides and moves. Not impulsively. Strategically. The speed comes from clarity, not recklessness. History reflects this pattern. Some battlefield commanders were unimpressive during peace but brilliant in combat. Pressure revealed capabilities that stability concealed. Sigma males operate the same way. Invisible during comfort. Strategic during crisis. Recognition marker. In chaotic situations, look for the person who seems to understand what's happening while others are confused. Who sees solutions others miss. Who decides quickly and correctly. That is strategic clarity under pressure. Trait 2, instant calm while others panic. The second pressure-activated trait is immediate calm when everyone else is panicking. Not performed calm. Not forced composure. Genuine, physiological calm. When crisis hits, most people experience a spike in stress. Their heart rate increases. Adrenaline floods the system. Thoughts become fragmented. Emotions override logic. The fight-flight-freeze response takes control. The Sigma male reacts differently. Instead of escalating, his nervous system stabilizes. Instead of speeding up uncontrollably, his thinking slows down and sharpens. Instead of emotional chaos, there is clarity. During normal conditions, this trait is invisible. Nothing activates it. There is no visible sign of extraordinary emotional regulation because there is nothing demanding it. He appears ordinary, perhaps quiet, perhaps reserved, but not exceptional. Then real pressure arrives. An emergency. A genuine threat. A high-stakes moment that actually matters. While others lose composure, he gains it. The hypervigilance that once sat quietly in the background becomes focused awareness. The scattered noise turns into precise attention. His body shifts into controlled readiness instead of panic. Where others are overwhelmed, he is centered. This calm allows function. While others are emotionally flooded, he is assessing the situation. Identifying variables. Weighing options. Making decisions. The same crisis that fragments other people's thinking sharpens his. But this response only activates under real pressure. Simulated stress doesn't trigger it. Hypothetical problems don't unlock it. The nervous system knows the difference between a true threat and a dramatic inconvenience. When it's real, he switches on. Recognition marker. In a crisis, look for the person who becomes calmer instead of louder. More focused instead of frantic. Still while others rush chaotically. That is pressure-activated composure. Trait 3, leadership assumed, not requested. The third pressure-activated trait is automatic leadership assumption during crisis. No asking. No voting. No waiting for permission. When leadership is needed and absent, he steps in. Under normal conditions, this trait stays hidden. Hierarchies exist. Roles are assigned. Structures are clear. The Sigma male doesn't chase titles. He doesn't compete for status. He operates independently, often outside formal chains of command. His leadership capability remains invisible. Then crisis hits. The usual structure collapses. Assigned leaders freeze, disappear, or become overwhelmed. Confusion spreads. No one knows who is in charge. Most people look around, waiting for someone to take control. The Sigma male doesn't wait. He sees the vacuum and fills it. He starts organizing. Giving direction. Making decisions. Coordinating movement. Not as a power grab. Not as ego. As function. This is not alpha-style leadership. There is no posturing. No dominance display. No emotional need to be the leader. It's simple logic. This situation requires coordination. Someone must take responsibility. He is capable, therefore he acts. There is no attachment to the role itself. This is what shocks people. The man who never competed for authority suddenly commands the room. The one who avoided hierarchy now creates temporary structure. To outsiders, it feels inconsistent. It isn't. It's optimization. Seeking leadership in peaceful times is often status-driven. Assuming leadership in crisis is solution-driven. Sigma males do the second, not the first. And just as importantly, when the crisis ends, so does the command. Once stability returns, he steps back. He doesn't cling to authority. He doesn't demand recognition. He returns to independent operation. The leadership was situational, not personal. History mirrors this pattern. Farmers who became battlefield commanders during war, then returned to their fields when peace came. Leadership activated by necessity. Released when necessity passed. Sigma males are crisis-activated leaders. They do not seek permanent positions. They respond to permanent needs. Recognition marker. In a chaotic situation without clear leadership, watch for the person who naturally begins organizing the response. Who gives direction without ego? Who steps back when order returns? That is pressure-activated leadership. Trait 4, extreme risk calculation and execution. The fourth pressure-activated trait is the ability to calculate and execute risks that others perceive as reckless. High-stakes decisions. Made rapidly. Executed without hesitation. To outsiders, it looks like courage, or even foolishness. It's neither. It's superior risk assessment under pressure. In normal conditions, this ability doesn't stand out. Low-stakes decisions encourage caution. Safe environments reward conservative choices. The advanced risk calculation system isn't needed. He may even appear cautious. Reserved. Then the stakes rise. Now the decision matters. Now delay has consequences. Most people freeze. Analysis paralysis sets in. The fear of making the wrong choice overwhelms them. The magnitude of risk blocks action. The Sigma male's processing sharpens. Under pressure, his awareness expands. He sees the obvious risks, and the hidden ones others miss. He calculates probability more accurately. He evaluates outcomes more realistically. He determines the optimal move even if it carries danger. Then he acts. What others label reckless bravery is often precise calculation. He isn't braver. He's clearer. The emotional regulation is key. Many people can intellectually assess risk. Few can execute high-risk decisions without hesitation. Fear interrupts action. Doubt slows movement. He decides, and moves. There is no gap between calculation and execution. This trait is life-saving in emergencies. While others hesitate because the risk feels too high, he executes the necessary action. The paralysis that stops others doesn't stop him. This pattern also appears in high-stakes business, competition, or negotiation. Moves that seem dangerous at first often prove correct. Decisions others criticize as risky later reveal themselves as strategically sound. People ask, "How did you know?" He didn't know. He calculated better under pressure. History shows this clearly. Elite special operations units succeed in missions that appear suicidal to outsiders, not because they are reckless, but because their risk assessment under pressure is superior to planners operating in safe rooms. Sigma males function the same way. They are natural high-pressure risk calculators. Recognition marker. In a high-stakes situation, watch for the person making decisions that seem bold, even dangerous, but turn out to be correct. The one acting confidently while others hesitate. The one taking calculated risks others are too overwhelmed to take. That is superior, pressure-activated risk execution. Trait 5, brutal honesty, cutting through denial. The fifth pressure-activated trait is brutal honesty, an ability to cut through collective denial. During a crisis, most people seek comfort, reassurance, or the illusion that things aren't as bad as they seem. They create narratives that soften reality. A Sigma male destroys that illusion. He states reality without softening it, identifies problems everyone else is avoiding, and says what nobody else dares to speak. This is the uncomfortable, necessary honesty, truth over comfort. Under normal conditions, this trait remains suppressed. Social situations rarely demand it, polite dishonesty is often preferred. The Sigma male accommodates this, saying socially acceptable things, or nothing at all. But in a crisis, stakes are too high for comfortable lies. Survival demands truth, even when it's harsh. This honesty is not cruelty, it is necessity. Denial is deadly during high-stakes moments. While others want reassurance, the Sigma male says, "No, it won't be okay. Here's what's actually wrong." He calls out failed leadership, flawed plans, and denial-based strategies directly, without political softening. This creates conflict but prevents catastrophic mistakes. Brutal honesty also includes admitting uncertainty. While most claim confidence to calm others, the Sigma male admits when he doesn't know, "I don't know if this will work." He acknowledges limitations because accurate information outweighs the comfort of pretense. This crisis mode honesty differs from his normal communication style, which is minimal, filtered, and strategic. In a crisis, the need for truth releases the usual information control. Historical parallels exist in wartime advisors who told leaders what they needed to hear, not what they wanted. Often resented, but frequently right. Sigma males are the truth tellers under pressure. Recognition marker. In a crisis, watch for the person stating uncomfortable truths, calling out denial, and addressing problems directly. That is brutal honesty activated by high stakes. Trait 6, sustained performance, thriving while others exhaust. The sixth pressure-activated trait is the ability to sustain high performance through extended crisis, long after others have burned out. Stamina, endurance, and consistent capability define this trait. While everyone else falters, the Sigma male maintains function. Under normal conditions, this trait remains hidden. Life rarely tests it. Extended high-pressure periods are uncommon, energy management is easy, and everyone functions adequately. The Sigma male appears normal, blending in with others. But when crisis stretches over days or weeks, when demands never cease and rest is unavailable, the difference becomes clear. Everyone else exhausts, mistakes multiply, and performance collapses. The Sigma male continues functioning, not superhuman, just significantly more resistant to burnout. This sustained performance comes from multiple factors. Physical conditioning enables extended exertion, mental discipline prevents emotional depletion, and strategic energy management conserves critical resources. Combined, these create unusual endurance. While others experience progressive fatigue, slower thinking, and impaired decision-making, the Sigma male's performance remains remarkably stable. The trait is not only physical but psychological. In prolonged crises, emotional strain often breaks people before physical fatigue does. Sigma males maintain psychological stability under continuous stress. Emotional regulation that allows calm under initial pressure extends to endurance over time. Historical parallel, polar explorers and other figures of extreme hardship, those who endure when others cannot. Sigma males are similarly equipped for prolonged high-pressure environments. Recognition marker: in an extended crisis, observe who is still functioning effectively while everyone else is exhausted. Who is making sound decisions on day 5? Who remains emotionally stable after a week? That is superior pressure endurance. Final words. None of these traits are visible under normal conditions. Sigma males blend in, appear ordinary, and are often overlooked. But under pressure, the hidden capabilities emerge, transforming the ordinary into the extraordinary. The person who seemed unremarkable suddenly becomes the one everyone depends on. If you are a Sigma male, you recognize this pattern from your own life, the shift that occurs when pressure hits, the dormant capabilities that awaken. These traits are not learned behaviors, they are stress-activated adaptations. If you are observing Sigma males, you cannot identify them in comfort, you must watch them under genuine pressure. The evolutionary logic is clear: these traits are adaptations to unstable environments. Peaceful displays are unnecessary and waste energy, crisis activation is efficient. Sigma males are optimized for periodic high-pressure scenarios, not constant performance. That is why they are often underestimated, then respected once a challenge reveals their capabilities. If you are a Sigma male, reflect on which of these traits emerges strongest in you during crisis. If you have witnessed someone transform under pressure, you have observed these pressure-activated Sigma traits firsthand. The ordinary becomes extraordinary only when stakes are high. Real pressure, real crisis, this is when dormant Sigma traits reveal themselves.